Welcome to the Create with Katrina Julia show by Fit Life Creation, where we talk all the things on wellness, faith, marketing, business, and travel to create a life and business you love. I've been there, friend. I've walked from fear to faith, self-hate to love, corporate to calling, and bondage to freedom, along with transformation in every area of my life. I'm right here with you, walking along on my own path to creating. So tune in so that you learn how to create a life and business you love, hands-on. Let's create it. Welcome to 5 steps to create a community with influencer marketing that reaches millions. So if you didn't know my story on influencer marketing, it goes back quite a bit. In fact, back to about 2014. And just to share a couple of highlights and giving you insights into how influencer marketing can help you reach 11 to 25 times ROI, you are going to want to listen up. Influencer marketing, aka word of mouth, pays in more ways than one. So when I started with influencer marketing, I started scrappy. After sharing my before and after back in 2014 and growing 25 times on Facebook alone, I started to create it like a boss. In the beginning, this involved searching on Instagram and emailing the influencer and or emailing the brand that I wanted to work with. Later, influencer marketing evolved with scaling, with tips, tools, and tech. And I discovered case studies of 11 to 25 times ROI, our return on investment, and set out to create my own influencer marketing case study like a boss. Side note, if you haven't yet listened to the Influencer Marketing Original Series, you can go to the link in bio and scroll down to Influencer Marketing Like a Boss and a free influencer marketing webinar also via that link, and the influencer management series that you are going to love too. So when I started, I did have a strategy for getting influencers in our Create It Monthly and transformational retreats. And I did not yet use or have an influencer platform like our community or campaigns in one place. Remember, I started scrappy. No platforms, no campaigns, no book, no course or management existed yet. No community. It was all at 0 or at 1. What I did have from the start is an unrelenting vision, mission, passion, and purpose. And I continue to, even when and especially when it's hard. The dream, the desire, the vision, the mission, the freedom in all forms, from freedom of expression to community to time to location to financial freedom, drive me. I refuse to quit. And how to build a brand with influencers, I share in the free webinar to catapult you and your community into influencer marketing like a boss. So definitely check that out too. The In a Week series is created to help you build a brand with results and get results in a week. Yes, in a week. So let's get back to the 5 steps. So number 1 is research communities. Some of the ways that I've done this, and I cover this in deep depth in the webinar, in the book, in the course, and all the things, is researching communities and or scaling them with my VAs, like Influencer Marketing Hub, like Perlu. Because the key is you want to create community, but you want to also be smart about it and leverage existing communities while you potentially create your own. Number 2, get clear on the mission and the vision. The clearer you are on the mission and vision and the type of brand you're building, the lifestyle you're building, the values. Speaking of, number 3, the type of influencer, the people you want to attract. I call my ideal avatar on the influencer side Katalea, which is the name I desire to name my future daughter. No, I'm not pregnant yet, but that is something that's been in my heart for years. And I have very specific criteria centered around her, like that she is about 30 to 44 years of age, typically college educated and or loves to learn, loves lifestyle, marketing, business, and travel, and living and creating a limitless life with freedom. She does not let fear stop her. She, even in the moments where she feels weak, she knows that she is rising up and that she is human, and she increasingly gives grace to herself and others while also challenging herself to rise up. Speaking of, number 4 is campaigns, because on the influencer side, that's my ideal avatar. But also keep in mind, and if you've tuned into my series in the past and or in general, you know that I bring to the table different perspectives as an agency, with different things that I've done on that side in influencer management, with brands, as I've done brand work with brands like Google, Simple Truth, NBC, Airbnb, and then also on the influencer side with working with 15,000 plus influencers in our community, both directly and indirectly on our platform and on others like Activate, like Perlu, and on Tribe. So with campaigns, some of the key things on campaigns is you want to think about things like the metrics. You want to think about like, what's the goal of a campaign? Is it awareness? And or is it, engagement? Is it sales? Is it click-throughs? Like, what are the metrics what's the overall goal of the campaign, and the type of feeling that you want people when they interact with that campaign? And then what is the end result? Meaning, what are you wanting to see on earned media ROI? What are you wanting to see on reach, on engagement, etc.? These are all things I started to think about and set up before I even set. So I started scrappy with reaching out to influencers. But then once I started using platforms like our own, our Tribe, or Activate, or Perlu, or so many others, I dove deep with the goals on creating the campaigns and the type of campaign, whether it was online, whether it was travel related, like our Cuba or Costa Rica retreats and things like that. And then number 5, step by step, you create community. And as you go through these different steps, you will find inevitably that there are people or brands or aligned entrepreneurs, creators, CEOs that stay with you through all the stages, through multiple campaigns. I've definitely had influencers in multiple campaigns. And then you also learn on what it takes, to attract and retain different people. No different than, there's been studies in human resources on attracting and retaining top talent. That's essentially what influencer marketing has become. So comment, share, tag me on social at Katrina Julia Fit, at Fit Life Creation. Leave a review on the show, friends, so I can shout you out. We've had some recent beautiful reviews that I have shot out on previous episodes. And as always, remember, create, transform, and inspire, because you are born to. I am so excited and honored to partner with Spotify for podcasters. Ever since I connected with Spotify for podcasters, I feel like having options like video podcasts and Q&A and polls has helped me be creative on a whole new level. And if you didn't know, I want to thank all of you for listening, because last year we reached top 100 in marketing. And some of the ways this was able to happen is because of the ability to have distribution on platforms like iTunes, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Stitcher, and more. Basically everywhere and anywhere podcasts are in the world. I highly recommend you record your show on Spotify for podcasters. You can download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started. If you want to make a podcast, Spotify's got this incredible platform to help you make one super easily and distribute it everywhere and anywhere, and even earn money all in one place for free. Yes, for free with Spotify for podcasters. And here is how it works at a glance. You can record and edit your podcast and your shows right from your phone or your computer. So no matter what your setup is like, you get to start creating it today, or like I like to say, #create it. Then you get to distribute it to Spotify and everywhere and anywhere podcasts are heard in the world. Video podcasts are also available. Plus, make sure you check out the different features that I mentioned earlier to get your fans, your friends, and your besties engaging in your show, like the Q&A and the polls, to get people talking. And one tip, I've extended several of my podcasts out to the end of the year, because that way you get people a chance to connect and create it. So, share with me if you record your first and or your next show with Spotify for podcasters. I would love to know. Tag me at Katrina Julia Fit at Fit Life Creation. And speaking of connecting and creating a conversation, also leave a review on my show with your new show, and I will make sure and shout out your show as well. And definitely check out all the ways that I spotlight and feature and connect with creators on my show and collaborations as well. So let's create it. All the free chats on faith, wellness, money, marketing, business, and travel, so you create a life and business already. Head on over to the blog, the podcast, and the freebies to jumpstart your transformation. If you're ready to dive into the online courses, the live events, or the retreat, and if you want to create with our community on an even deeper level, definitely check out our internships, our influencer collaborations, management, and brand engagement. Let's create it.